Heather. I'm back for just a really quick chat about my TBR for Believathon coming up in November. I am particularly excited about this readathon because it sort of like legitimizes my desire to read kids books 24/7, like all day, every day. It provides me with an entire community of like-minded weirdos. I love you. I also can read like all these books this whole month long and not have to like pretend that I'm reading them sort of as research for my kid, you know, like, oh, I just want to make sure she'll like this one. Like, no, I've done it for me. Also, joining me in this video is Rover. He and I are approximately the same age. I think you're a little bit younger, aren't you? Oh, you look so young. He and I have been a team in this life for a very long time. We're besties. And he's decided that he's going to get up from his midday nap today to help me do my video. Sorry, what's that? I know, they know, babe. They know. You guys know. Okay, so in case you don't know, the Believathon is started by Gavin Hetherington. I'll put his channel and like the announcement video for the readathon down below so you can see it for yourself. And he's like got this really cute little packet that he's sort of made for it, you know, just sort of this document that you can find in his announcement video. To do with like all of the prompts for the month and then like little ideas that you can use to do each prompt. And like the very beginning of it is like a really cute little intro to why it is that he likes kids books. I'm a bit choked up really, like I think that's why I like kids books as well, you know. Okay, so there are okay, 10 prompts and then an 11th, which is the group book. So I have okay. So let's go through. So what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, oh, 11. Oh yeah, okay. Forgot this one. Oh god, I'm gonna die. Right, okay, 11. Right, so that's 11 books that I'm gonna read in November. I'm gonna do my absolute best to get through them. I don't know if it will work. Like, they're really like quick to read, aren't they? But it's still like 11 books in November, but I'm going to do my absolute best. Also, Sarah from Hardcover Hearts, I love her channel, she was on about November being like novella November. Like, she's not sure if she's just invented it or if it's like an actual thing. But I am also really tempted by that. So basically, I'm committing myself to these 11 and then also maybe some novella time, because novellas are basically how I live my life now. Just like avocado toast and like fluffy sweaters and novellas, and that's just everything I need in my life. So the first one is read a book featuring magic, and for that I've chosen The Hero and the Crown by Robert McKinley. Like, it's a Newbery Medal book. Like, I don't know if people outside the US know about the Newbery ones, but in America it's like a kids book award that's really famous. Like, all kids grow up like reading 1,000 gazillion of these Newbery Medal books, and they're so good. I really love Robert McKinley. I read, I think, Sunshine, which is about a vampire, that I really liked, but also I read The Blue Sword, and I think that this is actually a sequel to The Blue Sword. Like, it's the same girl. Although she's the daughter of Damar's king, Erin has never been accepted as full royalty. Both in and out of the royal court, people whisper the story of her mother, the witch woman, who was said to have ensspelled the king into marrying her to get an heir to rule Damar, then died of despair when she found she had born a daughter instead of a son. Oh, girl, word. But none of them, not even Erin herself, can predict her destiny, for she is to be the true hero who will wield the power of the blue sword. Oh my god, I am running out of time already. Like, what was I doing? I was just like dicking around, eating Snacker Jacks and like trying to get my dog to dance with me. Like, I wasted so much time. I always think these videos aren't going to take like any time at all, and I'm like, oh, I have plenty of time to just like try to do faces in front of the mirror. Like, just for ages, you know? Or like maybe contemplate having a nap. Okay, the next one is read a book featuring a myth or legend. So for that, I'm going to read Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. And I think I've seen part of the movie. I wish I'd seen all of it. Like, I should do that at some point. It does look really good. But this one's basically about this girl who meets a family who like are immortal, I guess, because they've drunk from the Fountain of Youth. And sort of the legend of the Fountain of Youth is super interesting, right? I'm like always looking for things about it that are super interesting. Like there's this painting from the 1500s, like to do with, I think, Ponce de Leon looking for the Fountain of Youth in the Americas. And it's just like a bunch of people like in a pool, and they look like they're all on acid, you know? They're just like, oh, like they can like see things. Yeah, when Winnie stumbles across a spring which can bestow the gift of everlasting life, she also stumbles across the unforgettable Tuck family. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I've wanted to read that one for ages, even since I was a kid. The next one is read a book with real life issues. So, for that one, I'm going to do Goodnight, Mr. Tom. This one is, when the Second World War breaks out, young Willie Beach is evacuated to the countryside. A sad, deprived child, he slowly begins to flourish under the care of kind old Tom Oakley. But then his cruel mother summons him back to war-torn London. Will he ever see Mr. Tom again? So this one is good with like, you know, contemporary issues, because it's to do with, I think, like child abuse, you know, like the mother's really cruel, but also to do with he's basically a refugee, and that's really contemporary as an issue. I think there's also like homelessness and poverty type sort of issues in it. So I don't know a hell of a lot about it. I think it was like a TV show in the 90s, which I would like to see. I want to read that one for ages as well. So the fourth one is read a book set in the past. So another one of these, so this is a National Book Award finalist. This is one of those like awards in America that make a book basically amazing. It's called A Proud Taste for Scarlet and Miniver by E.L. Konigsberg. I loved E.L. Konigsberg when I was a kid. Another one by them is The Mixed Up Files of Basil E. Frankweiler or whatever, about this girl who runs away and goes and lives in the Met. She just like sneaks into the museum at night and then just like lives there and like bathes in the fountain and like explores all the time. Basically me as a kid, I was like, oh, I live in the museum, amazing. Oh my god, I'm like basically a huge nerd and always have been. Rover knows. To anybody, Rover knows. So this one is about Eleanor of Aquitaine. She's in heaven and like she meets various people in heaven and they like have conversations about things. So I hope it's not like, you know, hugely like heaven-y. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hope that it's more sort of historical than like a book about heaven and stuff like that, but who knows? We'll see. The next one is read a book with a strong sense of friendship. So, you guys, look at this amazing book. Look how pretty it is. Oh my god. I just like want the book. Oh my god, look at like the inside bit of it. Oh my god. This one is A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. She also wrote The Secret Garden, which I loved as a kid. I remember sort of being particularly nerdy amongst my peers in class when we were reading that, because like no one wanted to do it. Everyone's really angry that they had to read aloud and they had to read this horrible stupid book when they could be doing something else. But I was secretly reading it at home because I wanted to get through it faster than we were doing at class. I never read this book, but I have seen the movie, like the 90s movie from when I was a kid. Oh, and it was so amazing. And like, it's got really good friendship things in it for this prompt. Because she's got like the other little servant girl or whatever that she's best friends with, and she makes like a friendship with the other classmates, even though she's like poor now, and they're still kind to her and still want her to tell stories and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about that one. So number 6 is read an atmospheric or creepy book. So for this one, I'm gonna do The House with the Clock in the Walls by John Bellairs. So I never actually heard of this one before the movie came out. So that movie that just came out recently. I'd never really known that it was a book before that. But as I was sort of like looking into reviews and reading about it, it's like a big deal. I think it was published in the 70s. You know, generations of kids have grown up since then knowing this book and really liking it. It's like a mystery series or something. So I'm pretty excited. The only kind of creepy book that I can read is a kid's book because it's got like a level of creepy that I can actually tolerate because I'm such a wimp. I'm really running out of time. Okay, so for number 7 is read a seasonal book. So for this one, I'm gonna do 101 Dalmatians. Like, it also comes with another one written by Dodie Smith is who writes it. But there's another one that she wrote as well called The Starlight Barking, which I think is like a sequel or a prequel or something. I don't know if I'll also read that. I don't know if I'll have time, but I think I'll try. So this one isn't like particularly Christmassy, but it is like wintry, and I think there's a Christmas sort of scene at the end, like a happy like family Christmas scene, and they do sort of look for the dogs in snow, I think, which is like quite wintry. So I've always wanted to read that one. I've definitely seen like the Disney movie, but that's all I know about the book itself. I think the book is actually quite different. That's what I've heard. So hopefully I will get to both of those, if not just the one. The next one is read a book with an animal character. Okay, so y'all, for this one, I'm going to do The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. I have always wanted to read this book. I wanted to read this book for absolutely ages. And there is like a cartoon from the 80s of it that I haven't seen all the way. But sort of from what I have seen, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous cartoon. It's a gorgeous book and story. And like, actually weirdly, so I knew this guy in high school who after high school I ended up like dating him or whatever, and then like some stuff went down like you don't even want to know. But basically after that, after I moved to Wales, he started this company called like Geekify or something, which is actually a pretty badass sort of like company. I think it's online mostly. But they make like fantasy slash sci-fi slash like geekdom type things, you know, like book covers and blankets and like just bits of swag. And they had this whole thing to do with Kickstarter where they've got loads of Last Unicorn merch now, and like I follow them on Instagram, and I don't know if like I would be like bold enough to be like, hey, remember me? I would like one Last Unicorn fluffy blanket sent straight to my house, please, thank you. But the unicorn lived in a lilac wood, and she lived all alone. She was very old, though she did not know it, and she was no longer the careless color of sea foam, but rather the color of snow falling on a moonlit night. Like, this is gonna be so good. And then I'm definitely gonna watch the movie, and me and my kid are gonna have a movie night. And I'm so excited to finally get to that one. Okay, the next one is read a classic children's story. So I have checked several sources, and they agree that this is actually a classic. I know what you're thinking, it's only like from the 80s or whatever, or maybe that's just the movie. But I've checked several places, and this is a classic, okay? It is The Never-Ending Story by Michael Ende. I wanted to read this one for approximately ages and ages. I've never even seen the movie. I don't know anything about this except that there's like a large monster thing that he rides, and there's a kid named Atreyu. I used to be in like this sci-fi book club thing in Cardiff with this German guy whose name I can't remember, which is really bad. But he was quite geeky, and he said that this was one of his favorite books. However, he read it in German, obviously, the original first of all, and loved it, and then read it again in English and said he didn't like it as much, so now I'm a bit worried like it doesn't translate properly. But also I don't speak German, so there's no way that I would ever know that, so it's probably fine. I'm excited. Might watch that movie as well. Getting on. So then the 10th one is read your personal childhood favorite. So for this one I decided to read Holes by Louis Saka. I don't really know how to say his name. I remember this from when I was a kid. I remember reading it and it becoming like one of my favorite books. So I'll just read it now. So Stanley Yelnat's family has a history of bad luck, so he isn't too surprised when a miscarriage of justice sends him to a boys' juvenile detention center. At Camp Green Lake, the boys must dig a hole a day 5 feet deep, 5 feet across in the dried up lake bed. The warden claims the labor is character building, but it is a lie. Stanley must dig up the truth. I remember like all the characters being really funny, like everything being really interesting. I read it in about like at super fast speed. I mean, I was like completely shook at the end, like when everything sort of came together and everything was revealed. I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. Like it was my first like, you know, literary mindfuck, I think. So last one is the group book. And Gavin was saying that he's added it to this one because he absolutely loves it. It's one of his favorite kids' books. I wasn't sure if I was gonna get it because I think it's optional that you can read the group book. I was like, ooh, I'm already gonna try to read 10 books in November plus all these novellas. But I saw it in Waterstones, and it was like the children's book of the month or something. So you could get a free coffee when you got it, and I was like, what a coincidence. I could use a free coffee at this minute in my life. So yeah, I got it. And also look how cute it is. Like, it's like gorgeous here. It's called Frost Heart by Jamie Littler. And like, there's like, the edges are really cute, and there's loads of like drawings all throughout. Like, I'm actually really excited to read this one. I think I'm like one of the most exciting reads in my stack. So those are my 11 books that I'm going to read for Readathon. Rover is also excited. So if you are going to do Believathon as well, please, please, please let me know. Tell me which ones you're going to read. Are you going to read any of these ones? Are you going to read different ones? Have you read any of these? Do you have any like particularly good memories about them, maybe as a kid, or did you read them as an adult and have to pretend like you were actually just reading them for your kid? Anything. I just desperately want to chat to people about this amazing readathon. Anything that anyone has to say in the comments, please, please, please do so. I definitely need to go back to work now. Definitely. Right, so thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, please. And me and Rover are out. Say bye, Rover.